Today was a pretty chill zero. We made some breakfast, which was delicious, made it to Mass, and actually made it this time, and then came back to the hostel and hung out with everyone, got to know people better, heard their stories, and had a delicious dinner. Sunday Mass, take 2.
Usually we have time to talk down
Appalachian Trail.
Are you really?
We're trying to make it to Mass every Sunday if we can. And
Well, that's great.
Hi, Telly baby.
Sit.
sit.
Almost. Oh, that was almost a sit. Oh, what a good girl. What a good girl you are.
Were you outside? Oh,
Now I'm curious though, like the difference in. Yeah, like I like.
Telly baby, do you want to lick my yogurt and raspberries? Are you hungry? Are you not gonna? Okay, there you go. Get it, girl. Oh yeah. That's so good for your guts. Also on this zero, I have postcards written out for some of my nieces and nephews and friends, and a letter for someone. So that is all going in the mail. This dinner is about to be freaking bomb. I have my leftover prime rib. I've got Wacky, who is very quickly being, his trail name is being replaced by several people on the trail as Vortex, because once you start talking to him, you can never get out of it. I also have his leftover baked potato, my leftover broccoli, and I have a kale salad that I purchased as well. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish most of this even, but we're gonna get as far as we can with it. And my pack needed repacked after all of that slack packing. We are going back out, which I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit more about tomorrow, how our plans have changed up a little bit even in how we are going to be doing our mileage.
High five. Thank you, buddy. Sit. High five. He's like, the dog food's good.
Oh. All right, girl.
Down to
Can I have a high five?
Gatlinburg if I would give him a hug. And it was a husband and wife, and I was like,
I told you guys I'd give you a little bit of an update and an explanation on how my plans have changed. When I first discovered the Appalachian Trail and it bit me, it's been like 7 years, and even after discovering that I have all these chronic health conditions, I have Ehlers-Danlos, I have lipedema, I have lymphedema, which are all connective tissue disorders, and yeah, they kind of coincide. But even with all of that, even with gaining a bunch of weight and realizing I have an issue with my thyroid right before I left, at no point, not a single time, did it ever occur to me that I might be one of the ones that didn't finish this. When I say I'm going to do something, that is it. Like, I take my word extremely serious. There is nothing. Once I decide something, there is nothing that will stand in my way. I know there are a lot of you out there that can relate to that. However, I am having to come to terms with the fact that my body is not recovering. I am getting worse, not better. My feet every day and my ankles are not getting stronger. They are getting weaker and more painful. And even on 0 days, they're recovering a little bit, but not enough to where I can be doing any bigger miles, especially with my pack. Also, if I deviate or if I have to quit, I have told 5,000 people on YouTube and every one of my friends and family. I've made this giant announcement. I've made this entire hike my personality for like the last year. And my why for coming out here has always been that I've felt that God put me out here. And this whole time I've been kind of, having a conversation with him. At the beginning it was, God, you put me out here and my legs are not going to continue to work. I can't get them to work, so you're going to have to do something about this. Like, you make them go, because I can't. And then, I was able to keep going. But more recently, it has been a conversation about, like, God, why did you bring me out here just for me to have to quit? Like, why would you embarrass me that way? Why would you have me put all of this out here and tell people and give them my word? You know how much my word means to me. That's so important to me. I don't go back on my word. And the answer that I feel like I'm being given is that my word sometimes means more to me than anything else. And if that means more than what God is telling me to do, then that's a problem. That's a big problem. And so maybe I'm out here for a little bit of a breaking of my pride. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. That's something for God to answer, not for me to answer. If I am more concerned about what the rest of the world thinks, what you guys think, which you guys are important to me. Some of you have been with me from the very beginning when I started this channel, and you've become like friends and family to me, and what you think does matter to me. Some of you that are not encouraging, I don't really care what you think, but a lot of you, it really does matter to me. And so if that's the case and what you think matters more than what God thinks, then I really need to reevaluate that. Having said that, I'm not quitting. I am adjusting. I think I'm not going to be able to call myself a thru hiker because I've already skipped a 20-mile section that I don't know that I'll be going back for. I think based on the amount of miles I can do and timing, it just is not going to happen within a 12-month period. My plan is that my husband will be here in a few days with my vehicle. So my plan is that I will have my vehicle here. I will slack pack as often as I can. If Snowbird and Wacky are doing a 2 or 3 day section and I feel like my body is just not up to it, I will maybe park my car maybe 8 or 10 miles in and hike with them for the first day, and then get in my vehicle, maybe camp in my vehicle, find a hostel, go explore the town. I think maybe what I'd like to do on days where I just can't hike, I have to zero while they are out hiking, I will find some of the really cool things to do and to showcase from some of these towns that are along the trail. There's a ton of thrift stores. If you know me, you know the one thing I love more than pretty much anything else to do on this earth is go thrift shopping. I have a lot of different things that I have at my fingertips. Ultimately, I think I'm going to end up being just a lash hiker that hikes next to thru hikers the whole way. I'll slack pack. I will do, if I feel like I can do a few days overnight with Wacky and Snowbird, I'll do a few days overnight. I have to listen to my body. I have to listen to what God is telling me, and I'm just gonna have to do what makes sense for me while still enjoying this trail and the towns and the people along the way. Oh my gosh, the people. There are definitely some giant weirdos out here, probably including me, but there are some amazing, awesome people that I have felt almost a lifelong connection with within 10 minutes of conversation. Like, you don't connect with people in the real world like you do out here. And I don't want to miss out on that opportunity either. So I'm just going to take it day by day, see what comes, and be open to every experience that I'm able to.